I've decided that I want to make money. No surprise, many of us do. So I am launching a $0 to $100,000 quest as Season 2 of the Freeloader Challenge. Longtime viewers know that my goal has always been to save up enough money to buy a crack house as a real estate investment. Now that I reached $100,000 in Season 1, I'm waiting for my realtor Mad Lad Brad to find the right spot. And while I sit tight, it's also time to start filling a second silo. But Season 1 ended up being so dependent on a strategy that I called counter gambling that I had to change the rules by limiting myself to $5,000 a month in gains. Otherwise, I would have won too fast. Make no mistake, I am still counter gambling and pulling thousands of dollars monthly and just keeping it rather than applying it to the Freeloader Challenge. Just the cashback alone creeps into the thousands. I recommend that you get in on this too. Watch Season 1 to get some background or join Discord, it's free, and we'll get you onboarded. But in this $0 to $100,000 quest, I'm swearing off counter gambling. I am determined to meet my $100,000 goal without my most trusted method, and in doing so, I'll discover more strategies that I can scale. I'm starting with $0, but I do make two assumptions for those that want to join in. One, everyone watching has regular internet access, and I assume this because you're watching a video on the internet right now. And two, I assume that you are not in prison, which would complicate matters significantly. If both of these are true for you, let's toss this salad. 0 day is always the slowest, but it's also the most fun, because there is nothing as sweet as earning your first dollar. Unfortunately, I gotta start at rock bottom. I need to build my bankroll so that I can fund more ambitious money-making activities. The only tool in my arsenal right now is a cell phone. That means I'm scraping the bottom of the barrel. Online surveys for $3 an hour. And if I'm gonna do that, I'm at least gonna get some exercise while I'm at it. So let's take a walk and I'll do some surveys. Or do some pull-ups and earn a few nickels between sets. After a few unenjoyable hours of having my data collected, I got some tens of thousands of steps in and I earned $6. There are a lot of survey apps out there. The only one worth doing at all is AARP, since you can cash out with even a tiny balance. No ridiculous $10 minimums. But even with that said, I'd try to avoid bothering with survey apps at all, unless you're at absolute rock bottom and need to collect some seed money to do something more ambitious. I'm taking my gains right here and moving this $6 over to PayPal, and then from there to my bank. Day 0 is done, with $6 earned and a mediocre workout. But there is obviously no way I'd make it to $100,000 like this. I need to scale up and accelerate my returns. Before I even got out of bed, I was browsing Facebook and kept getting ads for financial products like brokers. Sometimes these apps will have some kind of new user bonus that I can exploit. I saw this cringe ad for something called Alinea Invest, which was apparently made by some ex-Wall Street women. I was really hoping that this would have some free share bonus on sign up, but I was sorely disappointed. It looks like this broker does nothing but have ChatGPT build a portfolio for you based on your personal risk tolerance, and they charge you $120 on sign up. So this is obviously an L. I'm starting on a bad note. Alinea Invest is straight trash. But in the afternoon, I did find something I could exploit. On the sports app Prize Picks, if you bet $5, you get 5 $10 free bets. And unlike most sports apps that only let you withdraw the gains, Prize Picks will also let you withdraw the free bet wager amount too. Normally, I would never gamble. I hate gambling so much. But if you've seen Season 1 of the Freeloader Challenge, you'll recall that we made a lot of money by exploiting gambling opportunities. When a casino gives you a bonus to try to sucker you in, you take the bait, jump off the hook, and run off with the free money. This Prize Picks promo looks easy to exploit, so I signed up and dropped in $5, which took more than 2 hours to earn on AARP yesterday. To my dismay, I discovered immediately that this app makes you do parlays on player props specifically. The best way to make this work is to bet on extreme favorites. And so I parlayed some MLB pitchers with a pair of these green gremlin face over-unders, which are the least aggressive bets. Even though this wager itself will only pay out $7 if it wins, I'll reel in those $50 of free bets that I can then exploit. I was pleasantly surprised to see that as soon as I put in that $5 bet, I immediately got credited with those free $50 of bets. Most apps will make you wait 72 hours after the bet settles or some other nonsense. Prize Picks just airdropped me the bets straight away. Now that's really what I was aiming for, so that was huge. I immediately went in and bet on some kind of green gremlin face lowest difficulty over-unders. The trick is to find the ones where the players rarely miss their lines. So look at these bars. When they're all green, the player hit their line 5 games in a row. So that is a bet that I want to take. With 5 bets like this in play, I'm washing some bonuses that should be an easy clap. I only need one of them to hit and I'll be in the green. We'll see tomorrow. I woke up dying to see my bets. I even had dreams about the WNBA, unfortunately. The original non-bonus MLB bet lost. The Phillies ended up having a horrible game, and this Suarez guy got only 3 strikeouts. I needed 4, so that $5 of hard-fought money was gone. However, I won 3 out of 4 of those free bets, with the last one still open since the game doesn't take place until September 4th. Including both the bet amounts and winnings, that put me at $50.66. Despite losing the initial $5 bet, these freebies multiplied me from $5 to $50. This is typically the part where I just let this go and run off with the money. But PrizePicks wants me back. They saw that I won, but I was wagering, and they want me to keep wagering so that I lose. To entice me to stay so that I lose my money, they hit me with this 40% tennis bonus. I don't know a thing about tennis. I played tennis in high school, barely understood the terminology, and lost every match. I quit after half a season. I don't know what an ace is, but I bet that Francesco Pizarro will get 7 of them. So my approach here is just to bet on some green goblins for the lowest risk over-unders. After poking around, I just basically picked random green lines. What you're seeing right here is an error of mine. The wager defaulted to a $20 bet. I thought this was the amount required to play, but that was incorrect. I realized later I could have entered a much smaller number. But it's done, I'm in now, and the payout could be substantial at $60. With that 40% boost, this is disproportionately in my favor, but I'm still not comfortable with it, and I wish I bet less. I also got a $10 bonus that appeared after I referred my wife, so I'm going to play that on a low-risk WNBA bet just so I can wash it. Now I have 3 open bets with the potential to win $99 on some pretty high probability wagers on account of these bonuses. Francesco is putting up some aces now, and Munar is playing a little later. If all 3 lose, I will have $30 left in PrizePicks, at which point I'll just cut and run with the $25 gain. And if all 3 win, I'll be up over $100 and can start scaling into better activities that don't involve hiking my blood pressure with $20 tennis bets. Drum roll, ladies and gentlemen, for the first time ever, the first thing on my mind when I woke up was the result of tennis. The 40% boosted tennis bet succeeded for a total payout of $63 versus a $20 buy-in. Now, I'm not gonna lie, if I realized I could have done a smaller bet and still received the 40% bonus, I would have done a much smaller amount, like $10 max. But this was a fortunate oversight on my part, and now I have a $43 gain. This Dwame Munar bet shows why we have to choose the lowest difficulty over-under. If I had chosen any riskier line, this parlay would have lost. But the WNBA $10 bonus bet failed. This Aja Wilson character had an atrocious game with 18 points, short of the 21 I needed. And her opponent, Camila Cardozo, dominated with 19 points versus my line at 10. By winning only the Cardozo line, the parlay failed. So that one is an L. But the one I really cared about was this tennis bet, and that one hit. We've got Barkley on September 4th, and I need a touchdown from him to wash my last bonus bet. Currently, this puts me at $94, so I'm pretty happy so far. But this gain required way more risk than I'm comfortable taking. I'm fine dropping some small cash to unlock some bonus bets, but I do not want to be dropping money on actual gambling, even when an odds boost pushes the wager in my favor. I'm certainly going to keep PrizePicks while I await more bonuses, but I'm taking this $93 and running to something I can scale much more easily. The next move I planned was to sign up to some brokers or exchanges to run off with the new user bonuses. This is a technique I've used before with some success, and sometimes you can score some quick loot. I looked first for some new user bonuses at stock brokerages, but all of them except Robinhood wanted a larger first deposit than my $93 bankroll could fund, so that one was out. This Giannis Henderson $100 deposit for a $100 bonus looked promising. But if you see the fine print, you have to automatically add $50 a month for 2 years to get that $100 bonus. So that's not gonna work. And I don't really know what Trendo is, but this $100 bonus they describe requires you to make 200% per week for 4 weeks. So you'd have to cumulatively trade from $100 to $8,100 in the span of a month to unlock that $100 bonus. In my opinion, the strings Trendo attaches makes this basically false advertising. And I don't know about you guys, but I can't trade like that. And if I could, then I wouldn't need the bonus. So that's out. Trying to churn some brokers was a huge L. I'll have to revisit this when I have a larger bankroll. I can't finish the episode like that. I have to end on a good note, and I'm not going back to AARP. So I'm going to pick it back up tomorrow. During a good night's sleep, I had a dream where I was talking to Vladimir Putin about the Sochi Olympics, which is an unusual dream. I took this to mean that I needed to reflect on the Soviet Union's use of prison labor to perform construction, which may come to play in this challenge later. But back to reality, I need to earn more money in this moment. I went back to a platform I've used in the past called Free Cash, where you sign up to stuff or play mobile games to earn money. A lot of the guys in the Theta Gang Discord are active here, so hop in on that if you want some sauce. I haven't used this platform in a while because they made a really annoying change that basically forced you to play certain games, but they've since gotten rid of that, thankfully, and now Free Cash is back in rotation. My goal here is to earn $6 so I can finish out with my bankroll at $100 even. This would be easy as a brand new user since you can sign up to something like Chime and make over $420, and believe me, I wanted it. But I've already had Chime before, and when I tried to sign up again so I could get the bonus, they told me to pound sand. Just to get the ball rolling, I had to aim lower. The first app I downloaded was this Tinder for emails thing called Clean Fox. You connect an email inbox and swipe to either unsubscribe from that email list, delete but do not unsubscribe from the email list, deal with it later, or archive the email. I just linked some burner email to it and started swiping, which was more fun than I had anticipated, and I made 50 cents. There was a $2 offer that I was about to sign up to, but you were basically signing up to receive spam, and I didn't even want my trap phone to receive this much spam. So I just typed in a random phone number and it didn't work, so I quit. For the next move, just to get my legs back under me, I downloaded some slot game called Pop Slots that I absolutely hated. I played for a few minutes, made another 50 cents, but got annoyed and stopped. The other game was actually kind of fun. It's called Digger. You play as this drill team that has to destroy dirt and enemies, and you gain upgrades as you get lower. I played for a little bit and realized that unless you watch ads, you won't be able to upgrade fast enough to win some of the higher levels where you can actually get paid. You'll be sitting there all day watching annoying casino ads to earn in-game items. All mobile games are basically ad farms. But if I let the ads run while I do other stuff, this might still be worth my time. I'm not going to continue with Pop Slots because I hated it, but I'll keep this Digger game and see if I can get to these $20 payouts for the higher levels. Despite a few dollars in gains here, my bankroll was barely moving, and I was basically wasting time. So I went for the big kill. I joined the AARP for a $24 payout. It's a myth that you have to actually be over 50 to join the AARP. Any adult can join to get discounts on stuff, but I'm not here for discounts on travel. I want that $24, and that meant spending $15 for membership. But when you join, you get this nice car storage container thing, so that's a nice plus. I signed up, dropped in $15, which brought me down to $78 in my coffers. But a couple of minutes later, Free Cash awarded the $24, bringing me to $102, whereupon I have achieved my goal. Now I've got a choice. I can just cash out that $26 from Free Cash as cash or crypto, or I can pull it to the casino stake for a 30% bonus. If I do that, I don't have to actually gamble, I can just withdraw it from stake. But to withdraw from stake, you need $50 minimum. Even after the 30% bonus, I'm still under that. So I'll have to reach $38.50 before withdrawing to stake so I can pull my money right away. I want to go outside, so I'm not doing that today. In total, my journey to $100,000 now sits at $78 in cash, $26 in Free Cash coins, one outstanding sports bet, and one insulated bag from the American Association of Retired Persons. That's about $104 so far, so a little better than 0.1% of the way to $100,000, which when you think about it is really not that bad. Some of you are going to be like, oh, Mikey, just get a job. This is too much work. If you were making $20 an hour, it would have taken you 5 hours to do what I did. And even after accounting for the time I wasted on AARP, this still took me less than 5 hours. And as my bankroll expands, you'll see that these gains really accelerate. I'm trying to do this second season without using what we called counter gambling in season 1. To this day, I'm making many thousands each month off of that method. It's all possible because I figured out in season 1 how to go further into the methods that work. We're going to see the same thing in season 2. And a disclosure, I'm actually well into the second episode of this series. I just didn't have a chance to record this prior because I took a little vacation. If you guys want to get in on this, follow my lead. And also join Discord. It's free to join most channels. And if you want some more personalized coaching, join Patreon and you'll get exclusive channels where the money printing never really stops. We're actually doing so well in the Patreon group that 72 hours after I publish this video, I'm going to close it for a little while and then reopen it later at a higher price. But anybody who signs up now will permanently be grandfathered in. Whether you want all that or you just want the free channels, I hope to see you guys on Discord. I look forward to recording the next episode.